Hey guys, welcome back to Community StarCraft 2. I'm your host Sidewinder. I'm bringing you Game 4 of MC versus Sen. So you can see them up here on our cute little player tab. MC spawning on the right side of Terminus as the red Protoss. Sen is spawning at the top of Terminus. So close positions, at least as close as you can get on this massive map. Expect to see a really great game here. Sen is one win away from advancing to the finals, which is kind of a big deal in this particular tournament, considering the Koreans were just whooping everybody in this tournament thus far. Sen was actually the first person to beat a Korean, which he beat Xenio, I'm pretty sure is who it was, in the first round. And then right after that, there was a really great series between Dark Force and Alive, and Dark Force actually pulled it out. Somebody that nobody had really expected to even get that far. Beating another Korean. So Sen, the last foreigner standing thus far, so it could be a Korean versus a foreigner in the finals if Sen is able to take this game, which is a fairly big deal so far, considering Koreans have just been kicking our butt in pretty much every event thus far. MC showing a Forge Fast Expand, as we can see here on Terminus. For those of you that are not familiar with this map layout, Terminus has a pretty large main base, as you can see, a lot of dead space around the back of the mineral line, allowing for a lot of drop play. The natural is just right down the ramp, as we can see, but then there's another ramp right next to that which leads to your third. And the third has a rich Vespene geyser. Some versions of the map have destructible rocks right here so that you can get into the third by way of knocking those down and entering in through the back. But this one does not. So going Forge Fast Expand protects all three bases essentially from one little choke point, so you only have 1 point to worry about in terms of defenses. A little bit of probe dancing going on here to try to prevent the hatchery from going down. But look at that, Sen actually squeezes it in a position where it's almost impossible to get that down. Almost at the exact same time though, NC gets his Nexus started. This Overlord knows all about that, as we can see. MC now puts a photon cannon down. To expect a gateway to start right here in just a moment. MC is still poking around the base just a little bit. He should be expecting Zerglings to pop here any second, so he needs to run his probe home right now if he wants to not lose that. That's exactly what he's doing, heading that home, or not. I guess just checking the status of this expansion. Now that MC is going to get his probe poked by Zerglings just a little bit, he's going to try to turn around and get it back home, but it may have already taken too much damage, as there are Zerglings out in front of it as well, so Sen can just turn around and kill that anytime he wants. MC's gateway's now coming up, so typical Forge Fast Expand stuff coming down from him. But pretty fast double gas, as we can see right after the gateway, so typically going double gas this fast means that you're not going to go for any sort of gateway push. You're going to be going for something more like a Stargate or a Dark Templar play, which nowadays against Zerg, I really don't like a 2-base Dark Templar play. I think if you're going to go for it, you need a 1-base thing, and it needs to be mixed in with something else. It just feels too gimmicky to stand on its own as a true harassment. But here comes the Cybernetics core now. Sen knows all about the wall, as we can see. There is one cannon finished here at the front door, and Sen, like all Zerg players, needs to make a decision right now. He sees the Forge Fast Expand wall, so he either needs to take another hatchery, either right here to grab this extra gas, or he needs to punish that Forge Fast Expand as soon as possible with something like a drop or some Nidus network play. But we will see what he wants to do about that. MC is going for the Stargate right away, so as we can see, as soon as the Cybernetics core is done, the Stargate drops. The Overlord is almost within range to see that, but I don't think he's going to. Sen is moving his Overlord out of there, which you need to always find some crafty positions to put these in, considering they will have Overlords in your base for quite a while if you do go for this Forge Fast Expand style, or rather opening. Considering you will not have anything out of your gateway for quite a while to deal with that. You do see a Stalker coming out to try and deny that. Here comes the 2 extra gas out of MC, which, if he's going to be going for more than one Stargate, you really need these extra gas to support the units that will be coming out of there, as we did see in Game 1 of this series, where he went for 2 Stargates and he actually won. It was the only game he's won in this series so far. This is a good map for it too, considering the bases are so close. You can get a lot done. It denies any map vision from the Zerg if you're able to get that done, and this pylon is actually showing a pretty fast third. So he may just be trying to establish the map control with the Void Ray that's going to be coming out. Sen should know about the Stargate by now, or at least be able to put 2 and 2 together. This Overlord's going to see it anyway, as you see it right there. Out comes the Void Ray, and Phoenix should be rallying it to it shortly. Sen trying to run his Overlord home so it doesn't die to that Void Ray as well. But MC's going to come out here, clear the watchtowers, get some map control so he's able to take his third. We can see that Sen did take his third as well, so kind of not paying too much attention to him, considering it's a very typical response. Extra queens are starting at every hatchery, except for this one, considering it's turning into a lair. So that's definitely what you need to do if your Zerg players are struggling with this kind of style, is just get some extra queens out, connect your creeps so that you can deal with these kind of harassments, and MC should get, not necessarily killed, but pushed away before this really does any damage. You can see 2 queens now. The 1 queen is probably going to die, but this still shouldn't do a ton of work. He will kill one of the queens, and the second Phoenix rallies just on time to lift this other queen up. Meanwhile, back at MC's base, there are 3 gateways going down, and MC needs to be careful and not lose the Void Ray, which he does, so down that goes. MC floating around some Phoenix right now to see what else he can get done, but if you lose that Void Ray, you lose any chance of being able to kill a hatchery, which was already kind of low considering his bases are so close. And also considering Sen's creep is connected, you can see him actually pulling Overlords to connect these together. So very smart work there. Sen also has a lot of Spore Crawlers up, and MC's going to get in here with these Phoenix. If he's paying attention, he's going to see this. As you saw him selected there for just a second. He sees a Spire, so he's going to be like, huh, that's a little unusual to see a Spire not only this fast, but in a response to Stargate units. So MC's got to be kind of scratching his head a little bit and thinking, well, am I going to expect a Mutalisk harass? Should I put down another Stargate or what? So MC's got to be running through some scenarios right now in his head. You can see that MC is going for the robotics facility. Right now it's just putting out observers. The 3rd Nexus is now going down for MC as he holds a very slight supply lead. And behind this, he's also throwing down a Twilight Council. So opening up all the tech paths right now, as we can see, which I really like against Zerg. I like that style, so that you have flexibility and you can respond to the Zerg's ability to completely switch out of whatever's going on. I'm going to expect mutas out of this Spire. So you can see Sen banking a lot of gas and a lot of minerals. Probably going to expect about quite a few Mutalisks, and actually it's going to be a lot of Corruptors instead, which will deal with these Phoenix quite well. It's going to be 9 Mutalisks and now 8 Corruptors on the field for Sen in just a moment. As soon as their eggs hatch, we will see them pop out. MC is going to be poking in here, and he's probably really curious what's going to be coming out of that. What's going to be coming out of the Spire, or at least what's going to be coming out of the hatcheries from the Spire. The mutas are now popping, as we can see, all rallying to this center location here. Sen is taking a fourth, so this is more of a map control play out of Sen, and to try and push off these Phoenix in case they try to engage them, but MC could still do quite a bit of damage to these Hydralisks. As you can see, MC does intercept a queen that was out here spreading creep, trying to mind her own business. MC is going to have to retreat from this. He cannot afford to fight these Corruptors, considering Corruptors have so much health, and they are armored, and Phoenix do not do damage to armored very well at all. So MC does have his 3rd established, which you can see definitely helps out on this map, considering you can choke all of these Zerg attacks at one point. So this is probably going to shape up into a really long macro game for both of these guys. These are the kind of games that really determine who is the better player. MC needs to win this in order to keep his chances alive of winning this tournament. The Phoenix and Corruptors, or rather the Phoenix and Stalkers, are now engaging this Spire army out of Sen, and a little bit of a push off there. MC is not keeping up his Phoenix production right now, putting out the Templar Archives in order to try to respond to these Mutalisks and Corruptors, which is a very nice move. If you can get Archons out, or even just Templars themselves, and land some Storms or Archon shots on some Clump Mutas, that can completely change the game. It's one thing as Zerg you need to watch out for. If you're trying to go Mutas against Protoss, as soon as you see their Templar tech, you need to get off of those as soon as possible, considering Templar tech will really rip up Mutalisk, and you usually support that with some Zerglings. Here's some Templars coming down. Storm is on the way. Fair number of Zerglings on the field here. A lot of Spine Crawlers going down here for Sen. So Sen, again, just taking a map control and positional style Zerg play right now. Centrifugal hooks are almost done, so it looks like he wants to go into those banelings once again, which Sen really likes in this matchup. Here's a bunch of drones about to hatch, and as soon as those drones hatch, what they do now, that puts Sen at 90 workers, and MC is at 80 workers. So this is an insane macro game so far. Both of them peaked out on workers right now. MC now needs to start worrying about taking a fourth, and whether he takes that from pressure or from just coming in here and harassing Sen a little bit, he'll need to find a way to get that done. He cannot afford to just stay on 3 bases for very much longer, considering Sen's map control is a little better than MC's right now, and you can see that's what he's doing. He's just sitting his army out in the front here so that he can take this Nexus, and he has plenty of versatility with these Phoenix and with these Blinkstalkers to get around and prevent harassment. But nevertheless, Sen's just going to bypass that, go into the main, see what he can get done. There's a Templar here that has Storm ready, so Sen needs to be a little careful. Storm does drop and weakens all these Mutalisks quite a bit. The Mutalisks do pick off that Templar, but there's going to be a warp in here. There's going to be Phoenix here to try and deal with that. So MC is going to sandwich this army a little bit, and nice blinks there out of MC to get this army in a position where it cannot retreat very well without taking too many losses. Another blink up is going to take out another Mutalisk, and Sen is in a really goofy position where he can't retreat. Here come all the Zerglings in order to try to deny this. There's some storms coming down. Banelings are rolling in here, and nice storms to keep the rest of his units alive, just barely killing those Banelings. The Muta number is really, really far down right now, so Sen either needs to consider transitioning out of these Mutalisks. Look at these Mutalisks not even flapping their wings. Now they do as they turn, but that looked a little weird there for a second. MC has a pretty decent army. Look how many spine crawlers are here for Sen, protecting this expansion. Sen should be able to take this one as well as soon as he's ready, but I don't know if he's going to start expanding away from MC now that he has this center location kind of locked down. MC putting down 4 cannons here at his expansion. So both of them playing a very similar style in the sense that they're playing a map control and positional style with very fast and very fleeting units, as we can see. MC is now maxed. We can see 200 out of MC. It's a very powerful position to be in right now. Sen is going to have to make something happen with this unit composition, which I don't particularly care for right now, considering what MC has shown. But we'll see if Sen is able to handle that. This Nexus may actually fall. MC needs to get back here and deal with this right away, but no, it does not. Some storms could be coming down here on top of these Mutalisks, but the Mutalisks wisely retreat as fast as they can. MC is again neglecting that Stargate. It's not producing anything, where he could be producing Phoenix right now in order to try to help deal with these Mutalisks a little better. There's a ton of Banelings morphing right here, and Sen could be baiting MC into some big Baneling detonations if he sees those Stalkers blink forward as he's trying to chase the Mutalisks. There is a few Phoenix here poking around, trying to get more scouting information off, make sure there's nothing sneaky going on. +3 melee attacks are coming down for Sen right now, as well as 76 Zerglings. So you can see if you stay on top of your larva injects, what kind of things you can get done with that. Sen has a ton of Banelings on the field right now, 59 Banelings on the field, and that is a lot. So, okay, this is a huge transition out of MC right now. You can see 2 more Stargates coming down. This is going to put him on 3 Stargates, which is very, very rare, as well as 2 more robotics facilities and the robotics bay. So this is curious as far as what MC wants to accomplish with all this.